The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Hi, Scout.
Hi, babe. Good morning.
Good morning.
If I
It's
sound
Tuesday.
extra deep like a man, it's because I just woke up.
She had one very lightly mixed drink at lunch yesterday.
Because
A
I found my
mule.
wedding dress, bitch.
So,
It's time
Scout
to
bought her
celebrate.
wedding
I
dress
know.
yesterday.
Insane. I cannot believe. Do you like my wedding dress that I picked
I
out?
do.
Yeah, I literally was having dreams about it that no one's going to like
Oh, no. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
it. I know, but did you like it?
Yeah, you know what? I liked that it made you feel beautiful.
Okay, so you didn't like it. Jesus.
No, it's not that I didn't like it. It's that it needs to be fitted to
Well,
your
it's
body.
going to be fitted.
Of course. That's why I'm like, I can't judge it based
Okay,
on the
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
size
The
14
other-
you tried on with C-clamps.
I know, but what if it looks the same when it's fitted to my body?
It's not gonna look the
It's
same.
not. I need to get out of my head, and she's gonna make it exactly how I want.
Yes.
And I've been wanting this one for. I've been eyeing
Yes,
this fucking
this
thing.
is
It's
your
like,
dress.
It's like eyeing a house or a car, and you're just like, that's it. That's the one I want.
Scout,
That's the one I want.
you cried
I
when
did
you
cry.
put it on.
I did cry, but it did not fit. When I looked at the
course
photos,
not.
I was like, wait a minute, that's what it looked like on. It's not what it looked like when I felt it.
It's about how you feel, and it will be perfect for you.
It better. Like, you've got to be honest when we go back and we try it on.
Of
and
course
if it
I
doesn't
will.
fit me, I will buy that other dress.
You know, I already
you know
don't.
me. I will.
I already don't like them there. So
God.
I have no problem being like, you need to fix this.
That was a weird bridal experience.
I almost didn't want to give them your money.
I know. They were so blah.
I know. We should have just been like, I should have told you to go somewhere else. But you wanted.
I wanted
tried.
that one.
I know, but you could have got that dress at another store.
I know, but like, but
You
it
found
also,
it, you loved it, you wanted
also,
it.
I think it was very like low price there.
Yeah, but that designer's going to be the same price everywhere.
Yeah. Well,
Whatever. You got your dress. You're done. That means you have to come back to Austin for your fitting so we can record more. My plan is working.
that's the only. And then every time I come here to Austin, I'm like, wait, I could live here.
Fuck yeah, you could.
And then that happens, and then we go get shoes, and then the other person's like rude to us, and I'm like, maybe not.
I don't know what was going on
Or
yesterday.
the weather, the fucking heat.
But
the,
today
my
it's
armpits
freezing.
sweat in a fucking pond.
Well, maybe you
underneath
should
each.
not be wearing a jacket when it's 90 degrees outside.
I was intoxicated. I was intoxicated, and we both got matching fucking coats. This bitch copied me. We got matching coats.
I won't wear them on the same day.
Oh, I thought it would be cute.
Oh God. Okay. All right.
Twinsies.
Okay. So let's Well, we have a guest today.
What?
One of my favorite people.
Ugh,
in the
seriously.
like I don't even
The
know how long I
sweetest,
know you for.
sweetest human being ever.
Best hugs ever. My like buddy. Thank God. Every time I'm at a convention, he's there. I'm like, oh yeah, good.
The talks, right? The talks that this person
Yeah.
gives you is
I
just like a
almost
pep
miss-
up, like a pep up.
I almost
You're like,
miss
oh, my life
smoking
isn't bad.
cigarettes because when I used to smoke, we would.
Yeah,
that was my
have little
my
tugs.
smoke break buddy. Go outside and like talk about relationships and life and just stuff.
That's
just
why
real
I seem
stuff.
like this person will be a really great fit on this on this thing right now, this podcast.
On this podcast, this thing that we're doing.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Alex Vincent, welcome to our show. Woo!
I'm happy to finally be here.
Yay!
Enjoyed watching and listening to you two the past over a year now. You've been doing
Yeah,
this.
over a year.
Oh my God. What did you think when you first heard our podcast? I'm just like curious.
It's kind of exactly what I thought it would be, honestly.
Really? But
Yeah,
but he
I mean-
knows us, you know.
I do, and I know you both to be, blunt's not the word, but rather filterless. You do say what's on your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To put the two of you together in a room, I know how fond you are of each other. I know it would be fun.
It's
Oh my
true.
God, that's so
I mean,
funny.
we didn't even know. It's like you were doing your show. When you did your podcast, what is it, 3 years now? How long ago was it when you started it?
I've done two of them, both for less than a year. I do them for about 6 months and run out of steam, which makes what you guys are doing so, impressive.
What do you think caused
I
you
get
to run
really
out of
sick of
steam?
that.
Like, what made you stop the first one? Is it because you're
Well, the
doing
first
everything?
one- The first one, I was doing everything myself. I was booking the guests. It was rather ambitious to begin with. It was almost like a late night show. I had two buddies with me, and we would just like bullshit for a little while, and then I would have a guest on, and then I would have a musical performer because I'm in my recording studio. I
Yeah.
have a full live room right there.
Wow.
So we had live music on every show.
Wow.
And we were doing it once a week, and I was the one bringing in bands and artists and
Wow, that's a
trying
big
to set
setup.
them up and videotaping a lot of it and editing those videos. And
Oh yeah, that's a lot of work.
I took on a lot, but I didn't really intend to do it forever anyway. I kind of, most of the things that I do for a bit and then need to walk away from it for a while.
It's
So,
because you're an
and then the
artist.
second one was Chucky Talks that I did with Christine
Yes.
was fun. I mean, we were both really happy with that season one, and the experience of making it and the way the show came out. So we were kind of just like stoked on the idea of talking about it. So that's what we did. We did maybe 20 episodes called Chucky Talks, and we got to interview everybody. I mean, that was really the best part of it. I mean, we got to interview Jennifer Tilly, Brad Dourif, who, you know, Danielle and I both love. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was fun.
What's
Working
your
with-
what's your
working with-
prep like for your show? Because you're obviously Christine's like one of your best friends, and then you know everybody on the show. So is it easier? Like what we love about doing the show is we don't do any prep because we bring on everybody that are our friends, and we don't really want to talk about your work. We just want to talk about you, which is what we know anyway, and then shoot the shit. What was your prep like? Was it easier just like knowing who you were going to be sitting down with?
I think that was the difference, doing it on my own and then working with Christine, because Christine definitely would have liked to do it the way you do it. I'm an overthinker who had to
Oh,
process everything that and we were doing breakdowns of the episodes too, which were very kind of thoughtful analysis. So
Oh.
that had in itself a lot of prep.
Yes.
And she really tired of doing that real fast.
Yes.
oh my god! I don't think my brain could
No.
operate like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's maybe a little bit more organization that maybe I would want, but not like oh no way. My brain would go.
I couldn't do it. I think I just like to work off the cusp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
just feels, I don't know, because we just never know what's going to happen. And ironically enough, like shit comes out pretty good for not planning. Like we don't plan stuff. And even like
Yeah.
we
And-
did an
and
episode.
even if it doesn't, that's fine. You're having fun with
Yeah.
talking about things you like talking about.
Yeah.
There is no real need to polish it the way that I was trying to, and I think I put too much pressure on myself.
I think that's like the main thing with anything that you do in life. If you're not having fun, there's no fucking point.
Especially when you're not
Guys,
making money.
everybody, there's
Of
no
course,
point.
yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean? We're making shit tons of money.
Yeah, I wish. We're like sponsors. What? We're just finally getting there. You
I
know,
know.
And we still haven't gotten a dollar. So, but that's okay. We're finding other ways to keep us afloat, thanks to our Patreon.
Yes.
You know, and like that
And
little
that's
stuff.
What we were doing. That's what we were doing too. Is just kind of using it to make the most of the connection we have with our fan base, which I've really cultivated a lot over 20 years of
Yeah.
so many people.
So how are that's interesting. How are because I mean, the fan base in like the horror community is so awesome. But I mean, I was just thinking this when we were watching some of your show before you came on this morning. What a wake up call, by the way. I was like, like 8:00 in the morning. I was like, oh my god, this is intense. But like the fan base of Chucky, I mean, it's all different. Like when a fan base loves like a certain trilogy. I mean, how do you say that your fan base is, like the Chucky fan base?
Well, yeah, I mean, they are really in love with this character and all the characters that Don made over the years. And I think the continuity of the show and the consistency, although it is off the wall and takes a lot of left turns, it is the same story for all this time. So I think they're really tied into the story as it is. And then the people behind it, we're all really kind, considerate, giving people with our attention. And I think doing the conventions for as long as I have, both me and Brad and now Christine over the last decade, and Catherine was doing them, and Chris Sarandon, and I think we've all connected with these fans, and I think that makes a big difference. I also think Chucky is it taps into one of your earliest fears in life,
Yeah.
inanimate coming to life, a doll coming to life, it really ties into your childhood.
Mhm.
And I think that, I mean, personally, speaking for myself too, like my connection with them was built since I was 6 years old.
Mhm.
Um, and I think people, luckily, have been really supportive and rooting for my character. So
See, that's the thing though too. It's like, I mean, with this franchise, Chucky, like all the cast, they're all together. It's like a family. They're all gonna ask you to come back, come back and relive this.
Yeah,
It's
not
not
like
really like
ours.
any other franchise. Like literally,
it's really not. I mean,
behind the camera, yeah.
Yeah.
But
we have a showrunner that has been close friends of ours for over 20 years.
Wow.
see,
And
I
he
love that.
consistently, when you ask even the new people that are there, he is just so not only approachable but excited to be there, happy there, wanting you to have a really good time and a good experience. And I think having that deep level of connection with so many of us. I mean, Fiona is one of his closest friends. Jen has been one of his closest friends for a really long time. We've had a relationship since I was 7 years old,
Wow.
since Christine was 24.
Mhm.
So there's love between us, and I think that translates to the audience seeing it. I think that helps. I know that getting involved in this show, one of the like selling points to the studio to bring me in was the relationship that Andy has with Kyle, and the fact that Christine truly is one of my best friends in the world. We talk every day. I think that despite the fact that we're talking about really dark, sinister things and we're killing people all the time, I think that it feels like family to those.
I mean, you
It's
see
such
it.
a
You
special
see their
thing.
relationship come across on film. It's quite fantastic. I do kind of get creeped out by the fans that carry around the doll as though it's their child. Like I have seen Chucky in a baby carrier on
Yeah.
people. Like that's a little, I mean, it's like our creepiness is like people that have their kids dressed up as little killers, but the adults that are carrying around dolls, it's like, oh, wait, hold on. Wait, Chucky, do you want to, Chucky wants to get in the photo with you. Like that happens to me. And I'm like, that's a fucking doll. That's so weird.
That means it's working, Danielle.
It's
That
working.
means it's working. It worked on you.
It did.
At least Chucky is talkative. You have someone coming up
True.
who intentionally says nothing and just
Yeah,
stands there.
I was
and
gonna
stares.
say, I think our like men that are like just standing and saying nothing to you are a little bit more intense than adult, than
Yeah.
But Chucky, I have to admit, Chucky was my favorite. Like was my favorite since I was a kid. And so much so, and I've said this before, I don't think I've ever told you, I had no idea that Brad Dourif did the voice of Chucky while filming both the fucking Halloweens until
Really?
the second
You weren't
premiere.
picking up on that? Just
I was
listening?
not picking up on it. And
I
probably 'cause
remember
was
when you found out,
terrified.
you were like, wait, what?
Yeah. And I brought all my Chucky shit at the Halloween premiere and had him sign a couple of things. So I was like, oh my God, you're Chucky. Like I've had a Chucky doll. I've had all this stuff. I just remember freaking out.
Brad works out of his house, doesn't he? Does he ever, I mean, he just works out of his house.
I think there's a studio that he had to go to quite a bit this time. He was doing it out of his house. But yeah, I think he has a drive, and then he knocks out a lot while he's there.
How much of your show is
He worked
practical
really
effects?
hard this year.
Yeah, he's
All of it.
it's
Really,
all
all of
practical.
it. The CGI that's only used is really just to erase the puppeteers.
Right.
Is kind of the main way, which is very different from when I was a kid when you couldn't do that. We couldn't
Right.
do that.
The
We had to
gore
hide
is
it.
the gore on the series is fucking phenomenal.
It's so good.
Yeah. Well, as you know, we had some things. The practical effects on the doll's face is what we definitely continue to keep going, because even the slightest thing, like in Curse of Chucky, I think there was 4 seconds of CGI on the doll's face, and people did
Hated
not
it.
take
No.
that well. Yeah.
Can you explain?
Which I don't blame them. The
Can you,
practical effects is awesome. So
can you explain on
Yeah.
set like what it's like the puppeteers and all of
And
that?
who's
like, so
who's
are
reading
you
his
really,
dialogue?
Yeah, I want to know.
Is
all of
Scripty reading dialogue off camera,
this.
or
I hope not.
So in a best case scenario, we have Brad's voice on playback.
Oh, good.
It's actually nowadays synced into the movement of the doll's mouth.
Whoa!
So it's not someone hitting it at the same time, but when the doll moves its mouth, Brad's voice will come out.
Oh
of
my
it.
God, that's so
Not
amazing.
actually, not out of it, to be fair,
Right.
out of a speaker, but yeah.
But you have something to work with.
Absolutely. I mean, working with Brad, I never actually shared a scene with him in person, but having his voice over all these years has made it far easier for all of us. There are times where a script supervisor is reading a part, obviously, but or someone on set. Actually, the puppeteers are pretty good at doing it, and they kind of have little Chucky impressions that they've worked. A couple of them are pretty convincing at it, but yeah, when you hear, you know, maybe a female voice or someone who doesn't match at all saying Chucky's line.
How many
a little-
dolls are there? How many Chucky dolls are on set? Like, how many do they have in
It
this?
depends. They do different
layer?
things. Yeah, there's usually just one or two actual animatronic doll, and they can interchange the face and stuff. Like all the equipment stays inside of it, and they can change like the face or change the head or interchange those. But there's like only a couple animatronics, and then several other dolls. We used Trick or Treat Studio dolls this year. Actually,
Oh,
Wow.
great.
And are they heavy?
no, not really.
Okay, that's
No,
good.
I mean, when you're 6,
Yeah.
they are.
So
Not
who was
really.
doing the dialogue when you were 6? Were they
Mostly
obviously
always Brad.
Always
Actually,
Brad.
back then it was always Brad. He wasn't there, but it was
Right.
on playback. And there were actually times where it would be on playback in slow motion. Like, so yeah, I have some behind the scenes footage from part 2 where you can hear Brad on playback, like, snap out of it. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
never seen a dead body before.
Oh
Like,
my God.
Alex,
Yeah.
can you explain the audition process of that when you were little?
Yeah.
Getting that role?
Yeah, what did Tom make you do? Did
Yeah,
he
I
fucking
wanna
torture
know, like,
you?
what did
He
your
probably
mom
tortured
tell
you.
was, hey babe, so this
We're
little
we're
doll-
asking all the questions to Alex that we hate being
Yeah,
asked
I know,
ourselves.
I'm sorry, but I'm actually
from
curious.
Child
just
actor.
me, being a fan
Yeah.
of the franchise. I'm just
Well,
really
actually,
curious.
though, Danielle, that's kind of the fun part of doing podcasts with your friends, I've learned, is because you get to ask them questions that you don't ask them. It would
Yeah.
never ask
Yeah.
them.
Are you tired of people asking you that stuff though? Like, what was it like to get the role of Andy? Are you scared? Do you have nightmares? I mean, I do want to
How
know
old were
that
you?
stuff though.
How old were you in Halloween?
How old were you? Yeah, I was
yeah.
10. But
How old? You're 10?
Yeah.
Still, it's the same thing. You've been asked the same questions
Mhm.
your whole life.
Mhm.
Mine is, because I was so young, did I have nightmares? That was that's
Mhm.
the number one question. I've been
Did
asked
you?
that.
No, you never had nightmares, did you?
I never did,
Yeah.
no. I still haven't had a Chucky dream, for good or bad.
I've had one Michael Myers dream, and it was like 5 years ago. One, and I woke up going, "Finally! I finally had a fucking dream where he showed up," and it was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
not
that's-
scary.
I have had dreams where I'm on set
Yeah,
like that. That
like
feels
you're
like Chucky.
yeah,
forgetting,
when you're
forgetting your
forgetting your
lines.
lines.
Chucky's
You're
alive
late.
and coming after me. Yeah, stuff like that.
Why do we always have
Crafty.
that?
Where's Crafty?
My actual fears, which are much scarier than
I
Chucky
can't find my car
There's
in the
no
morning.
food.
I'm
There's
late.
no food.
My set calls. I woke up when I was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Okay, so audition process. What was that?
So
like?
yeah, I was auditioning in New York. I'm from North Jersey, so sitting in traffic and stuff after school mostly
Yes.
to go through the Lincoln Tunnel to audition in New York, which
Sucks.
it sucks. Yeah, it sucks a lot. It sucked even more when I was older and I had to take off of work and pay for gas and parking and tolls myself
Oh,
to do it.
God.
It made it basically impossible.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I auditioned a couple times in New York. They flew me out to LA and I auditioned against like 2 other kids.
Do you remember their
And-
names?
I don't remember their names. I don't remember what they looked like. I don't think I saw them. I think they
Okay,
were
okay.
sequestered. I think at the point of flying us out, they didn't want us face to face.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that was about the only thing that wasn't traumatizing about it. No, my mother was in the room with me,
Oh.
which was rare back then. Even
Yeah.
for kids, she was actually in the room for the audition, which made me super uncomfortable for some reason.
Mhm.
And then we were doing a scene where I had to say Aunt Maggie was a real bitch and got what she deserved. And I was 6 years old and I didn't want to say bitch in front of my mother. So I froze up
Oh.
and they're like, well, let's start again from the top. So we started again. And I got to it. I said, I'm sorry, I forgot my lines. And I got up and I ran out and locked myself in the bathroom.
Oh,
Oh
no.
no! Oh my god!
And my mother came in and was like, what's wrong? You know all the lines. What's wrong? I said, I don't want to say that word in front of you. So she went back and told them that. And I guess that helped me in 2 different ways. One, I had convinced them that I really forgot the lines. So they're like, well, this kid can act. He fooled us all.
Yeah.
Besides that, I think it showed the innocence that they really wanted juxtaposed to this killer doll.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that sealed the deal for me.
Because kid actors are annoying. I mean, a lot of kid actors, you
Yeah.
watch them and you're like, ugh, how many times did their mom make them run those lines in the car on the way to that audition or work or whatever, and they're just not authentic. So to have that is so heartwarming and approachable, and I think that's what makes fans fall in love with you. I mean, you can see the innocence all over you. So let's talk about the non-innocent stuff. So what was I know I sat down and watched Child's Play with Tom, right? Tom Holland, the director.
You did.
And
How'd that come about?
I mean, Tom played my uncle in the Hatchet movies.
But you sat down and watched Child's Play with him?
He did.
That's
Well,
cool.
okay, so during quarantine, I was doing this show called Commentary where I would sit down with my friends and watch their movies that I hadn't seen or wanted behind the scenes info. And Child's Play just so happened. I was like, I just want to know how you did this as a director from the, how the fuck did you make this happen? So he just broke down the logistics of it because mostly I had my actor friends on, and then I was like, this is a different perspective of what I'm curious about, and building the sound stages at an angle, and all of that, just the stuff, or the sets at an angle. And then of course he told me a lot about how he kind of traumatized you to get you to where you needed to be. And,
Oh shit.
And that was the 80s, so I got it. I mean, I get it. I got it too. That shit would never fly nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, specifically what you're talking about is the scene where Andy breaks down crying in the hospital. First of all, this was 35 years ago. So my memory of it has been reinforced by stories that I've been told from different people that were there. I do have a memory of it. I remember what I remember from it is having a lot of anxiety about doing this scene to begin with. I knew what page it was on the whole time. Like, when I get to page 43, I have to cry. I had an acting coach that I worked with a lot. And yeah, I was just really scared to do it in general. And I guess the other side of the story that I heard is that they were trying to come up with things to help me cry.
Yeah.
And my parents were kind of going through a divorce at the time. And I think, he was kind of shouting at me that you're never going to see your dad again. And you guys your parents are fighting. How does it feel when they're fighting? And he likes things like that. Now, my memory of it, though, honestly, was not walking away from it like I was traumatized from that. I knew the objective. I was a really smart kid. And I knew the objective was to be convincingly terrified to the point of tears. I had a good acting coach that explained that to me. I had also memorized the entire script myself. Every line, everyone's lines from the whole film. So I knew what it was about, and I knew that the goal was to really convey that emotion. So I think I felt kind of like whatever works, let's do it. And I know that sounds like a memory that's maybe more mature than how I actually handled it. But I do remember maybe I used that, as a way to not walk away feeling so terrible about it. It's hard to say, I guess. But yeah, that's what happened.
Two things that come to mind for me is, so what did traumatize you from this experience? Is there anything as a kid that was it like when it came out and kids knew who you were? Like, was there anything?
Yeah, absolutely. You get an opportunity like this, and I was excited to do it. I understood what I was doing. I got to leave school for 3 months and go out there.
That's the most fun part. Yeah.
Make a movie. That is the most fun part.
I get to not go to school.
But so then I make this movie, and this is in the 80s too. We're not kids my age. This was first grade and third grade. They weren't really seeing horror films to begin with. But I make this film, and then I come back to school kind of excited about it and hoping that the other kids would be excited about it and my family would be excited about it. Like, not my close family, and they were to an extent, but like the kids in school were not like impressed by it and projected an ego on me that I don't think I had, or an arrogance, I should say, that I don't think I had about it at all. And I do remember like just really wanting to fit in with everybody and not talk about this. And then the older I got, 6th, 7th grade, 8th grade, when all the kids did start seeing it, then it was questions from them all the time, looking at you differently, talking to you differently. the whole thing of like, you meet someone and they say to the other person there that you just met, hey, you know who this kid is?
Yeah.
Mhm.
This was it. That shit
Man,
like
how
really
rough.
drove me crazy to the point to high school when I quit acting. First of all, then I was replaced for Child's Play 3. You know,
Why?
Why?
I did these 2 films and then I thought we were doing part 3 and they wanted the character to be older and go to military school and have a girlfriend and you know, I've talked to Don over the years about it. And I do get why they did that. They did the same thing twice. They wanted to. I can't. We're still around 35 years later, so I'm not going to question their
Right.
methods. But at the time, it was really rejecting, and then you know stuff in your family too. Like
Yeah.
my sister, who I grew up with real close, this caused some tension and separation. My brother, who I got along with great, still had some envy over the situation. My parents did split up. Both went into years of a lot of mental situations and struggling, and and a lot of that felt like my fault.
Oh,
And so
Alex.
so yeah. And then what the hell am I going to do? I got really like rebellious towards everything.
We all
So yeah, the
do.
Yeah.
At
process.
some point, you
We
either
all do.
sink or swim. You
Yeah.
know.
There's a good reason why so many child actors fall into a thing, and it's not necessarily the level of their success. You know, it's not necessarily that they made so much money and their family had a bunch of it and they all went out of control. It's not that.
Well, it makes you feel like the ultimate outcast. It really
does. Yeah.
does. Like, but it's so normal to our brains, like this sort of functioning world. But to the outside, it's like we are robot. It's like robotic. I felt it
course,
at
yeah.
15. I fucking ran away. I ran away for 2 weeks and lived in a skate park because I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be a
Yeah.
pop star singer or Disney Channel. You know, it's just so robotic. So how did you? I mean, is it something that you wanted to do as a kid? Because I'm always curious. Because we both. I mean, all of us are. I mean, I started when I was 8. So
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, I saw a girl that I knew personally. She lived down the street from me on a commercial when I was like 5. So I saw someone that I knew on TV,
okay.
and I thought that was the coolest thing. And I did have a pretty big personality, and I really was exceptionally smart at that age, and I was very cute. You know, so it just
You were
seemed like
so
the right
cute.
thing to do.
Did you support your family financially too?
Oh boy.
Well, so yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mentioned earlier about when I started going on auditions, because I went back for like honestly like 5 auditions when I was 18 and I hated the whole thing. I'd been away from it too long. But before that, you know, paying for gas and parking and tolls and taking off work to drive to the city is, you know, that does cost money. So yeah, I didn't make a ton of money back then to begin with, first of all. And I didn't do that much work besides those films. But yeah, when I turned 18, I got a very small percentage of what I made. And
We just talked about
yeah,
this yesterday. I mean, listen, in New York, I don't even know how it is now, but when I was there acting as a minor, there was no Coogan claw. Like, they didn't put away 15% of my money until I moved to LA when I was 13. And then, of course, even then, you know, we were, Scout and I were talking about this yesterday, how we were just kind of left with if anything, just whatever was in there. Otherwise, everything else was gone. You
Yeah.
know, and how that should be reversed. I don't know. And there's still only 5 states that put
I
away
know, that's
15%
insane to me.
of money for minors. Like, how is it still the same as 1938 when it was started? That there's only 5 fucking states that look after minors. I know when I'm on set and there's kids, I'm very protective and very like, either if they seem like they love it, cool. There's definitely been kids I've been on set with that are like, I don't really want to do this, you know, or you can just kind of tell they're doing it to make their parents happy, and it just like it makes me fucking crazy.
that was definitely not the case. I was really happy to be there. I really was excited about doing the Chucky films. I wasn't there under protest at all.
And your parents were getting separated, so I'm sure there was. Did you feel like when you were going to set, like for me, I know in Scout feels similar. Set to me was structure. I had people were adults; they were doing what they were supposed to be doing. I knew what time I had to be there. I knew what the day looked like, what time I was eating lunch, what time I was going home. Like all of that stuff was figured out for me. I didn't have to navigate real life as a child on set, but at home I did. So did you feel a lot of that too because of what was happening in your home?
Yeah, I mean, my parents were on a course to be divorced, but they were fighting all the time. So to have the separation from that, my dad didn't come out with us. Mostly it was just me, my mom, and my sister. My brother visited, my dad visited, but we had a separation from that, which was stressful at the time. And then, like you said, the break from school. So I was happy for that part. I did feel like I was doing something important that was a distraction from that. And I think the second film too, more so. The first film I was 6. By the second one I was 8. It was at Universal Studios. I'm coming off of the experience of this film being a success. I was really jazzed up and excited to be there.
And you're the star.
I was the number one billing person. I was the
Yeah.
star of the film. We filmed it 2 sets over from Back to the Future.
Oh,
It's amazing.
Yeah, I sat in the DeLorean, had lunch with Michael J. Fox.
Get
in the
out.
Oh my
Tell
God.
me these stories. Tell me all
Yeah.
these stories right now. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I mean, I got to do really cool things while I was out there, and that was Don was there for the first time, and that was the beginning of my admiration for him, and he was the writer on a big film. I thought that was the coolest thing. He took me to go see they were filming Back to the Future 3, which came out very soon after the second one, and they were finishing the third one when I was there. So he took me to see part 2 in his blue Alfa Romeo. And like, it just felt like, yeah, it felt like I was a star. And then to come back and have that,
Real
end.
life.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it was difficult. It was difficult. And thinking kids would be really excited about it by then, that they weren't really,
Yeah.
So yeah, when people say, were you traumatized as a kid from those films? I said for many years, no, but from being an actor, I was.
Yeah.
It's so
And that's why I quit. So I quit when I was 11, 12 years old. I was like, I don't want to do this at all. Not only do I not want to audition, I don't want to be famous. This is too much already.
Yeah.
I don't want this.
It's so interesting to think, like, if your career, and my career started now at that age, what it would look like. It would be so different than what it was back then.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
little
scary now.
baby kids are like, making millions,
And making these movies on their own.
Yeah. It's like so different.
I'm glad it happened when we were kids.
Yeah. Oh
but
my God.
Me
Me
too.
too. I wouldn't have been able to handle it.
No. I mean, I auditioned with like the same 4 girls.
Yeah.
It was always like the same
Same.
group. It was like very, very predictable. You get your call, you go, you know where you're going, you get your like it was, it's not like how it is now. So cold and weird.
I think I'm glad that we were born when we were compared to recently in every conceivable way. By the way,
Does that scare you, Alex, to not have a kid? That scares me to not have a kid because of what's happened. Like, I'm just like, I'm like, what?
Do you want to have kids, Al? You do want to have kids eventually, right?
I don't know. I kind of go back and forth on that.
Yeah.
I've never had a real incredible urge to do that.
Yeah.
And then, 4 years ago now, my sister had kids, and they're adorable and they're so fun and they're so sweet.
But you can
I get
send
to
them
see
home.
I get to see them when I want to, and then take real cute pictures with them when I see them, and listen to all the beautifully, charming things they say, and then go home.
So, Alex, are you in a relationship? Are you single? What's your status right now?
I'm in a relationship with the same person.
How
for
many
a
years?
while.
What, 4 years now? How many years?
6 as of yesterday.
6. Wow. Congrats.
Oh my gosh. How did
Yeah.
you guys meet?
At a convention.
Get
That's how I meet
out.
everyone.
I
Yeah,
love
I don't leave
that.
my house too much otherwise. So if it's not at a convention, I'm probably not going to form any friendships at all.
So she was a fan?
She was there working a vendor table for her
Okay.
friend.
Did she know who
She
you
is a
were?
fan. She's a fan of horror. Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Oh my God. I
course.
love that. That's amazing. 6
You know-
years. Wow.
There's very few people, not just because of conventions, but it's very rare that I get to delay them finding out that about me anyway.
Yeah.
So you can question people's motives in life constantly if you want to. But I think the thing about that is even the fans that I've met that I ended up having whatever I had with for however long, the Andy shit wears off on you real fast. Like that might
Yeah.
get you talking to me, but that's not going to keep you talking to me
Yeah.
for very long.
Fuck yeah. So are you the romantic type, Alex?
I certainly can be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a very sensitive person. I've been writing poetry my whole life. I'm
Oh.
raised with around women. My best friends are female. So I appreciate romance because I like making people happy.
What did you do for anniversary yesterday?
We just went out to like the restaurant on the beach
Oh,
up
nice.
here.
Nice. I
Yeah.
love that. Can we ask you some intimate questions?
Scout's like,
I'm like, okay,
Get
enough
to
of the
the
romantic
dirty.
bullshit. Even though I am a Pisces and I'm very like, love me, I love you, all the gifts and everything. Do you guys have toys? Do you have toys?
she's always
Alex?
wants to know
I
this.
want to know this because we are different in this realm. Do you have toys as a man, not for your partner, but like, did you have toys prior to your partner?
No,
No.
no,
See, Danielle, you just been with
no,
some
not
geeky
toys.
ass men.
I don't. I mean, I, I've been a very sexual person in my life, but I never really had toys like for myself. I've had toys that I've bought for girls that I've been with.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, sure. I mean, I've had some adventurous relationships before this one.
What does that mean?
Yeah. What does that
This,
mean?
not that this one isn't, but this is the longest relationship that I've been in, and you know, you settle down to
Yeah.
not being as
Yeah.
adventurous.
The
as
rhythm,
you
like,
once
it's-
Do you
were,
have
for
any?
sure.
Do you have
Rhythm.
any kinks? Uh-oh.
Look at his
He's
little
smiling.
face.
Yeah, we should have had this. We should have done this podcast in the evening after a few drinks. You would have
No,
gotten
right
more.
in the morning, the honest truth comes out.
Do you have any Do you have any fetishes? Like, what's a fetish of yours? Uh-oh. He's looking.
You
can't even-
do have a fetish. I
If
can
you
tell.
guys are not
I have
on
plenty.
Patreon, you need to hop on and watch the video.
I have
Alex is turning
plenty.
bright red.
I have plenty, but it works for me to be cute and innocent. Haven't we gone over that already? You know?
Nobody knows. Everybody knows.
That's like Miko. I feel the same way about him.
my
I'm like, you
God.
guys are like fucking closet freaks.
so Miko
I think
lived.
Miko got some tips from watching me. For
He
a while.
did? Oh.
Miko lived
When we started
right
doing-
down the street from me in Apple Valley. I grew up in Apple Valley, and Miko lived there. And that boy, their moms tried to get us to fucking be together for a very, very long time. Well, I was like 16
Yeah.
and he was like 18. And that boy is a kinky one. I
I
swear.
adore Miko. He's
I
the
love
best.
Miko.
So we're talking about Miko Hughes, you guys that
Yeah.
are listening that
I
don't know
love
from Pet
Miko. I can't wait to
Sematary.
get. Oh my god, Miko's stories will be fucking.
Have you ever been to a
hilarious.
swingers club?
No, I actually have not. And there's several around here, and like
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you're in Florida.
Yeah, that's swinger
beaches
capital.
and stuff, Caliente and stuff like that. No, I'm not much of an exhibitionist.
Are you a voyeur?
I guess not really, honestly. But more so than an exhibitionist.
Yeah.
You know, I think I was a little conditioned over the years of not wanting people looking at me.
Right.
That I
Yeah.
don't know
Right.
that would have served me very well.
Right.
I think
So,
that's
no.
my issue too with that. Is like I don't know if I would want people watching me.
Well,
Like that's my only thing. I would probably get a little self conscious. Like
yeah.
that's
but
why
it's
maybe
dark.
I'm
But
not
it's but
into-
there are rooms that are pitch black. You can't even see your hand in front of your face.
Then what's the
Yeah.
fucking point?
You
Just
can
hearing
hear
them
and feel and yeah, it's just
and smell. She brings up the smell. And I don't know if that intrigues me, like the smell.
Sometimes
of
it just
all of
depends on the
different
person.
bodies
Well-
and the juices going. I don't know.
well, you're not up close and personal unless you want to be. But
Sure.
just the air in the room, that sexual air in the room is kind of interesting.
sexual.
I did run into Tara Reid at a swingers club though. That was awkward.
Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was there with my friend Victor. I was like, "What the fuck is going on? This is really." I was actually wearing a wig. That was the first time I'd ever gone to one, and I was
you wore a
years
wig.
and years and years ago. And I was like, "I'm gonna wear a wig just in case." And then for some reason, then I went.
Did she
older.
recognize you?
Oh yeah, she was like, "What's up? What's up, D?" Yeah. I mean, we used to live together. You know.
Did you guys have sex near each other?
No. What? No.
Oh, well,
no.
that's what you're supposed to do, right?
No, I'd rather have sex by a stranger.
Yeah, I mean, can you go there and just hang out and not really touch anything?
No.
Yes, you can. Oh yeah, no, I would never
you have
touch
to go
anybody.
with someone.
You have to go with
Yeah,
your partner.
like
you
your
can just
partner,
like
a
hang
person.
out. You'll be
You can't
approaching.
go you can't go as a single guy.
No, you can't.
Sorry, Alex. Yeah, no, it's I mean, there's so many rules. Like even at Burning
Yeah.
Man, the orgy dome, there's like so many rules.
I wonder if you can go one of three though. It doesn't have to be even
Oh.
numbers, right?
I don't know. I've never done that. I've never partaken.
I'm not sure. I think if you were two women and one
Saying
man.
you've never been with two people at the same time? Is
No,
that
I've
what you're
just never
saying?
gone to like a swinger place.
Have you ever had a
Oh.
threesome, Scout?
Yeah, but with women only.
That's a
Too
lot
many dicks. I can't. I'd be like, pa, pa. Like, hiya. Like, stop fucking poking me. It would not fit me.
You've had threesomes, Alex, I'm sure.
I have, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but you being the only guy.
Never more than 3, huh?
You being the only guy.
No,
Oh, okay. All right.
no, I've had both combinations of that.
I wonder, do you feel like a competition when two men are there, or is it more like this is great? Curious.
I mean, I wasn't the type to like high five. I was rather anxious about the I was I'm an overthinker, honestly. So big time. I mean, a lot of people say they are, but I really am, like, to
Are you a Virgo?
uncomfortable levels. No, I'm a Taurus.
Oh, you're Tommy Pants. You're my partner.
Yeah.
Would
So
love
it
Taurus.
takes me
You guys.
it takes me believe it or not, it takes me a lot of time to get comfortable with people. So
No wonder.
So
I love
when
you
you're
so much.
when you're in bed with and there's another man, I'm just curious about how this works. Are you like when the other guy's having sex with the girl, are you waiting? Are you
No, there's a mouth.
Well,
there's
yeah,
a
I mean, are
there's
you
a lot of things.
Well, that's hard if he's fucking her and then and you're trying to
doggy
put it in her
style?
ass.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that gets a little complicated.
It's more like mouth play and making out, right? So I think.
it depends on the couple, honestly, or what they're going for, or what they're interested in doing,
Yeah.
Do you find men
a lot of
attractive?
different combinations that you can get out of it. Not really. I mean, it wasn't unpleasant, but it wasn't something that I like pursued afterwards. Like, I didn't get super excited about the idea, even with two women, by the way. Like, threesomes are
A lot of work.
they're worth exciting, but like they're exciting, worth trying, I think, for everybody. I mean, I'm always a supporter of trying things, for sure, in general.
Do you and your
in
partner
life.
do them now, or no? It was kind of like before your partner.
No, it was before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we haven't done too much adventurous stuff. We have a very a lot of discrepancy between our experience levels. She's a lot younger than me. She's 16 years younger than I am.
Whoa, that's kind of Tom and I.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Tom and I.
Yeah.
But I think.
Scout's
think
got
it's
more experience.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
what is this fucking bitch? What is this? He's like, check, please.
I'll put a ring on it.
I think I scared Tom when I was like, wanted to do anal with him. And he was like, what? Like, you want that? I was like, yeah, do you want to try it? Okay.
No.
I'll go over here. Don't you worry. Oh, so funny. I think he was just so he's just so afraid of hurting me all the time. And I'm like, just hurt me. Like, baby, hurt me sometimes.
Oh my God. Hey,
Sorry,
Scout,
Tom.
do we have a question for Alex?
Oh, sure. Should we read some
Yeah,
stuff
maybe. I mean,
here?
because we're gonna go down the fucking rabbit hole any minute
Well,
here. I know it.
We kind of talked about like a lot of these.
We're on our way.
You're on our way.
Yeah, we kind of talked about a lot of these questions that were submitted to us on the poll. So this is something. So people are asking like, how awesome is Jennifer Tilly to work with?
Of course, she is fantastic. She's the sweetest, most generous with her, not just by paying for dinners, which of course she does, but with her time and her affection, and like even simple things like Instagram, she will comment and like almost everything that we always do. She responds to texts like almost immediately. And those are little insignificant things, but they're not that insignificant really, because someone in her position living like the most fabulous life of all time, to give that time to friends comfortably, I think is impressive. She's impressive in every way.
She's living her best life. I
Really?
mean, she seems like
absolutely.
like I feel like she's really embraced this over the years, which is so pleasant and lovely to see compared to some of the other actors that do these franchises that don't really want to be part of them. It's nice to know that she's like so loving and giving to her fans.
Yeah, and she wouldn't be doing it if she didn't want to. And so when you know that, that kind of makes it all the more fun. But yeah, she's fantastic. We haven't
Uh-oh. Scout's
we
laughing
had
at
any
something.
scenes
What is going
together.
on right now?
I don't know if I should share this.
What? Oh, no.
Jennifer was a crush of mine.
Oh, she was?
Oh,
Oh,
of course. Of course. Jennifer's a crush of everybody's
I
though. That's not
probably have masturbated to her when
Wow,
I was
really?
young. Like, definitely. Oh my God, the voice, the titties.
You like boobs.
I don't.
I thought you
but
were a
then I
butt
don't
girl.
know what to do
I
with
do
them.
too.
When they're in my face, I'm like, what do I do with these things? I'm like, it's just too much work for me. I can't do it. But definitely love. Yeah, masturbating to some tatas moving can definitely seal the deal. But yes, so if you want to tell her, Scout
think
loves
Scout
you.
would like a threesome.
Like oh my God,
I think even
like,
gay men have masturbated to
Oh,
Jennifer
Crush.
too.
yes,
I think
probably
everybody
more.
has.
Yes.
just I could close my eyes and be fine just listening to her.
Wow.
She should do like a sex book, like a sex audio book or something. Oh my God, that would be epic. Sorry, pitching
What are you
ideas
what are
over here.
you what are you working on now, Alex?
Well, now I'm kind of taking a very intentional break from most things. I'm back in my studio.
Yeah.
So I have a couple studio projects. I'm doing sounds for a film, the whole sound design from beginning to end on a feature that I should be getting any day. I have uh, an artist that I've worked on 3 records with coming in today to start his 4th. So I'm kind of just doing this stuff. Took a break from traveling from conventions. I'm not doing one until mid-February.
Nice.
I might go on a few auditions. I don't know. We're in kind of a waiting period to see if this show is going to be renewed for a 3rd season.
What do you think? What's the odds?
I really don't know, honestly. It's kind of a coin toss, if you ask me, because I don't really get much inside information. I'm in a wait and see
Mhm.
position right
Mhm.
now. But if they work out a deal with Dawn and the show's moving forward, then I also have to question whether or not my character will be there and then negotiate a deal. And like, it's all just really up in the
You
air.
are
So I'm
so in
kind
your head. I love it.
taking,
Yes.
I'm also kind of taking my time to not think of, to try not to think
Good.
about
Don't.
stuff.
It's the holidays, you know.
So
That's
this
why,
is
yeah, exactly.
so
This is the time of year where I gain 20 pounds and I don't go into it.
the best
Kinda
20
sitting around
pounds
and
ever.
decompress. Yeah.
So this is your
This is
kind
that
of
time of year.
decompression is like music and sound design and all that. When did you get into this?
Well, I went to Full Sail recording for a recording arts degree back in 2009. I started mixing like techno music and creating techno music in like 1997. So I've been involved like that for a long time. But then I just started to produce other people and record other people. I've had this studio since 2014. I've recorded over 300 artists in that
Wow.
time.
Is it people that
Um,
you know, or is it like a way that people that are
No,
listening can actually like
it's a business. Yeah, yeah, it's a
contact you?
business.
Do you
They
want to
can
promote
contact
that?
me.
Do you
Sure,
wanna-
it's called AV Productions. And it's AV Productions online. On my Instagram is where that link button that nobody clicks that has all of your information in your life. That's where everything is.
Aha.
Video.
I love it. I love it. It's so interesting because I mean I've usually have dated musicians, so I get that world. I love that world, and it's nice because I know a lot of musicians and stuff. So now that I know that you have this studio, which looks amazing,
Yeah,
back
and we
there.
do a lot of hip hop too, a lot of beat production and
Heck
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Oh,
So it's kind of split up into 2 businesses. AV Productions is what it's been called since I've had the place, but it's also called, wait, where am I?
there it
It's
is.
also called The Loop.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you have a favorite somebody wanted to know if you have a favorite Chucky theme song?
That's a good question. The second one, there's a couple. The main title one from the second one is my favorite. The first one's good. We actually have been very lucky. We've had really good composers on our films, and the soundtrack stuff I really enjoy. But yeah, the second one, I don't know the name. I think it's just called Main Title, Main Theme. I use it on my Instagram stuff constantly.
Have you ever sat down and thought about doing a score for Child's Play?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be able to sell that to them. They don't No, I don't think so. But I have done score for other things, for some independent horror films and stuff.
Good to know,
So
because we're
I
we're
could, I
we're
could,
Yeah.
about to drop some movies together like every year.
yeah,
So good to know.
yeah, there's a lot of projects that I can do from this studio that I try to tell people as often as I can that are options. I've done sound mixing for feature films, surround sound mixing for all genres of music. I've done some scoring work. I've done screenwriting. I've
Do you
done
work better in the studio stoned or sober?
usually sober, honestly. It depends whether I'm doing something uh creative
Yeah.
for myself or even for someone where we're like kind of producing and writing things. Then a little bit of weed is helpful.
Yeah.
Um, but if I'm sitting there mixing something, I feel like the more stoned I get, the quicker I'll lose patience.
Right. You're not as sharp. I'm
So
way
no,
more
no.
creative when I'm stoned.
Yeah,
not.
some people are good at like smoking pot and focusing. And that's
Yeah.
never been my strong suit.
Yeah.
Like I have ADHD pretty bad to begin with.
Mm.
So when I smoke weed, I really start overthinking about everything and things just get in my head and will distract the shit out of me really fast. And it's hard for me to just focus. I've never tried any medication for that though.
Oh, you should. You
Yeah.
should.
I think it's just what is it? Just Ritalin or there's
Yeah.
some.
Well, I
there's a whole
tried
bunch of shit.
Adderall.
Oh,
and
Adderall.
I've never
It made me
taken Ritalin.
it made me so
Right.
focused, like I was like too focused. I was like not a human being
It's like
anymore.
speed, right?
Yeah, I was like, I can read everything. It was
I
crazy.
took half an Adderall once just to wake up because I was never going to make my engagement that I was supposed to be at.
Oh yeah.
Did it work?
Yeah, it helped. It helped.
I want
But
to
but
try.
I didn't put it into like effective focusing things. I've never really been a big speedy person for drugs.
You don't. Yeah, I'm not either. I way
I only
prefer
just started
downers.
caffeine. I only started caffeine within the last year. Like
Wow.
yeah, I never drank coffee or anything like that. Maybe a sweet tea every now and then.
Yeah, I
Sugar,
don't
like
drink
actual
coffee
sugar.
either.
But
It's because we're ADD.
yeah,
You don't need
yeah.
it.
We don't need it.
No, it doesn't. No, it really does help you bounce off. Like it depends. If you're trying to clean your house, sure,
Yeah.
that's great. But if
Ugh.
you're trying to focus on
Dude,
something,
I can a giant iced latte and an edible, and I am fucking going to town.
I'll be like
Really?
so energized, and then I will crash in 20 minutes. I'll feel like I
Oh,
need to.
but
nap
but
for
see,
8
for me,
hours.
I'll do that. I'll clean for like 3 hours until my edible kicks in, and then I will do all the baseboards and all the fans and all the fucking weird shit that gets me off when I'm stoned, and then I will go to sleep for an hour and a half.
I'll just do some shrooms and go see.
you
some
find a big
reading.
difference between sativa and indica for you?
I
personally?
really only do there's like a gummy that I'll do both, but usually it's indica for me. I don't usually like to, and yeah, I'm more of a chill, but I'm just 10 milligrams. 10 milligrams of 1-to-1, like gel cap. Like that's all I need, and then I have a little piece of bread and like 20. Yeah, I know
That's
David's
funny.
giving you like some fucking
Yeah,
crazy
I was
shit
just
one
gonna say
time
that. I was just gonna say that.
at Rocks Your World.
Well,
Your my
it-
10
uh,
milligrams would make you feel nothing, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, 10 milligrams is kind of background for me. I don't feel much, but it doesn't take that much more than that. Like
Oh
if I
God.
take,
So did his pill
if I
fuck you
take
up?
about 30, I realize that I'm not reaching for joints anymore that day.
Yes.
Kind of ready to eat way more than I should. And
Yes. That's the
couch.
only thing about having a single story house and taking edibles. I can't get out of the pantry. In my other house, on a 2-story, I would be upstairs and I would only come down to get like one candy bar and go back up, and then I wouldn't want to come down. Now it's like I'm in and out of the kitchen all fucking day long. It's insanity.
That's me. It made me feel like weed just makes me feel scared. Like it makes me feel out of like my body. I just get scared.
What if
about
you and I
life
did it and we
things.
just giggled,
I'll
like
get,
laughed?
I will laugh, but then just
You get weird.
Just so you
and it'll
know,
turn
I'll-
a corner on you.
there will be
Yeah.
things in my brain that
Uh-oh.
will be going on that I'm not telling anybody,
Uh-oh.
but it'll just be it'll be in there, and I'm just like laughing it off, like everything's
And
so
you're
great.
freaked out.
I'm getting murdered inside my body. Is what is happening.
Let's ask him. Let's ask a fan with a fan question, like one of
It's like
a
one
relationship.
Of the, it's like one of the long ones, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you make fun of me.
5
for-
minutes.
5 minutes. All right, let's pull up one of these guys. Oh my gosh, I'm you.
She always gives me shit if you listen to the show, but I'm always like trying to find stuff on the fly, and I'm always like, give me a minute, let me find it.
Okay, you want to read this?
Oh yeah,
long
yeah.
guy?
Now she wants me to read.
I don't know what this
She
is.
doesn't
We
like
just
to
picked
read.
a random.
right.
Oh my God.
It might not be. They're all that way. They're
hold
all
on.
long.
Okay, hold on. This is about 911 stuff. This is not a good question.
What do you mean?
It's
That
to
poor
us.
person.
It's someone asking us to ask them a question.
That poor person. Oh, advice. San Antonio. This is all.
See, she's turning into me now. This
Yeah,
is the
because I
problem.
wasn't prepped because we were talking so much. So
I
was
know,
like, we don't need a
but I
question for
wonder.
this.
I know, but I wonder if anyone wants to get Alex's advice on
I
something.
hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna do this one. Okay, I'm just gonna read this. I don't even know if this is. I've never dated an actress, but I imagine that if you date actors and actresses, there must be some understanding that the performers are going to have kissing scenes and sex scenes with other performers, but it's separate from your relationship and it's nothing more than a job. Have either of you, and you, Alex, dated a person that was jealous because of a romantic scene in a film? How did that affect your relationship? How did it affect your performance? Have you ever started a relationship with your on-screen partner?
Ooh,
Curious as to how common all of this is. Thanks for your insight.
that's great.
Have you had a relationship with someone you were working with?
No, never actually. No, and I've never had a romantic scene either. Honestly.
What?
No, I haven't.
Oh, we can't wait. You're going to be in one of
Oh,
our movies.
all right.
Oh, we got
Andy
you.
Andy had one date, and the girl left in the middle of the first glass of wine.
Shit.
And no, besides that, I don't think so. I think there was a film when I was a kid that had, a little peck on the lips or something at the end of it. But
Was that your
when I
first kiss? Was your first kiss on screen?
12 years old or something like that. No, my first kiss was in 5th grade. First real kiss was in 5th grade.
Wow, could you imagine 10? That's crazy.
Is that young?
Mine was young.
Mine,
Yeah.
Mine was like 5.
Pretty young. But I was the last one to lose my virginity out of all my friends.
Really? How old are you?
17. It was my 17th birthday.
Did you go to a?
And that was the last. I was still the last one out
Okay,
of everyone.
it was your birthday. Did they hire
Take
someone
you
for you?
No. That's no. It was I don't know. I was with a girl for like 6 months, and I guess we were taking our time with it, or she was interested in taking our time with it. And then listening to Riders on the Storm.
Oh,
Wow.
how romantic and
Were
very
you on top
intense.
or bottom?
That's a really long song, but I think this was about 13 seconds of that song. I think we got through barely the piano solo.
Was it just the tip, or did you know you were going all the way?
No, it was all the way.
Did she get off, or did you just get off and call it? We did it.
Yeah, the first time for sure.
Yeah.
First time, I was the only one.
Yeah. I wonder what.
The only
13
one.
seconds.
I wonder what
by
girls
quite a
think,
while.
when girls are young and they're like, oh my God, I'm about to lose my virginity. And then, I mean, probably like 95% of losing your virginity, the girl doesn't get off.
Probably 100% of the time.
We had done a bunch of other things before. There was plenty of going down on each other and stuff before that for like
cool.
months going up to that. So we had both gotten off.
Oh, do you remember being a teenager and
wasn't the
doing
first
that?
orgasm of our relationship.
Wow.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, isn't that nice? Why don't we do that as adults? Just like months of just making out and
I
all
miss
of that.
Making out.
I
Just
know.
Making
Yeah.
out. And dry humping each other.
Yes.
Yeah, all of that is there's a lot of nostalgia behind that.
There is.
I don't know. When I was single, like I had 10 years ago, I guess, I was really interested in trying to do that more in life, and that kind of changed. I mean, I had made a change at that point that I didn't want to rush sex at all.
I think I remember having this conversation with you. I don't know
Yeah,
why I'm feeling
I'm big on like teasing the evening,
Yeah.
so to speak. I don't necessarily mean teasing someone like with a feather or like fingertip touch. I don't necessarily mean.
Oh my God, that makes me want to punch you.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
like
mean
any
that.
of that stuff.
Yeah, no.
You do, don't you, Scott?
But
I mean, nobody's rubbed a feather on me, so I don't know.
yeah. I don't mean that kind of teasing, but I mean like just teasing the evening, like taking your time and not, talking for a while or going out and spending time. Like I don't like kind of like, hey, we just met up. Let's rush into what we were excited about for instantly. I think that's a cheap way to do it. So.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Now I
I don't
kind
know
of
how we
have like
got
a little
I don't know how we
image
got
of
to that
your
answer.
sex life.
I know, me too.
So do you think if you ever have, because I'm sure it's going to happen, that you're going to have like a physical scene, do you think your partner now would be jealous, or would she
No,
understand that?
no, she wouldn't be jealous. She's not jealous. She's not a jealous person. I mean, I do
But it is a
conventions.
little different. It's like kissing and like it's a little
She's
different
not
than-
jealous of the attention that I get, I should say, in general from people at conventions. I don't think any of us could really be with someone who was,
Yeah.
it wouldn't last. So she's not jealous by nature in that sense. I don't think that a physical scene like that would make a difference for her. No.
That's good.
So when our movie we're writing, we're gonna write a threesome
Fuck
with
yeah.
Scout and I and you. How does that
Fuck
sound?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. Let's
Is
do
that
that.
good?
Let's do that. Do you want me to write it? Or do we
Yes,
say-
Yes.
Actually.
Can you write it? That would be awesome.
I thought you would have made a great girlfriend for Andy. To
I
tell you the truth.
know.
Oh,
I know.
kitty.
One day we're gonna make it happen. One day we're gonna work together. We just have to
Sound.
make it happen ourselves.
Yeah. We
Plus,
are.
we're like-
We're going to put
we're
you
the-
in our movie.
We're the same height, and that helps. So
You are taller than me. Trust
I am
me.
Yeah,
taller.
you're
Yes.
my height. You're my
yeah,
height.
yeah. I heard you talking about wearing heels all the time at conventions.
Always.
Yeah.
I'm getting better about taking them off on a
With,
Sunday,
with
though.
heels, you're my height, and like Jennifer and Christine, and even Fiona are all like about my height, an inch taller. I would say they're all about an inch taller, but they wear these big ass heels, so everybody thinks that I'm like incredibly short. I am pretty short, but I'm not nearly as incredibly short. And it's funny because nobody really pointed that out or talked about that until Chucky started making fun of me for it in the end of
Oh.
last season.
Oh,
Chucky
no.
starts calling me short, and that just opens up the floodgates. Now everybody thinks that
Great.
they could
Oh,
I
no.
don't mind. I am short, and I'm not insecure about that at all. I
I've
don't.
dated two guys that were short. Normally, I've dated guys that were very tall. Two guys that
Yeah.
were short, and it was actually much easier to have sex.
Yeah.
Like, you can do it like standing
Sure do.
up. Like you pick me up, and
Yeah.
like you can't. I mean, it's just I don't know. It was just something a little bit easier than having to be on my tiptoes or. I don't know. It was just
Your
a
neck
different.
doesn't hurt all the time.
It just felt
from kissing.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just felt more. I don't know. It just felt different.
I was in 2 longer term relationships with girls that were significantly taller than me, like 3.5 inches taller than me. And I can't say that was my favorite thing. I do prefer being taller, but it wasn't a deal breaker by any means. I don't really care. I don't mind being short, actually.
You don't carry yourself. You've got we're kind of the same. I don't feel inside like I'm as short as I know I am.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
know, you got a bigger
No, I think-
personality.
We're resilient and strong people, and we're toughened by the life that we have had.
Yeah,
So
true.
Truth.
So you're gonna go
Okay.
record today.
Yeah.
I am, yeah. Yeah, I kind of like a John Denver kind of guy,
Ooh.
singer-songwriter type.
Do you play instruments or no?
I play piano a little bit. I play guitar significantly less, but a little. But no, I play piano. Yeah. You never see me start playing piano at a convention?
No.
I've seen
I
it.
do it whenever,
Have you?
I do it whenever there's one available. I do that.
Has there been a piano anywhere? I don't know. Maybe not anywhere I've been.
There was at Crypticon, the one we just did in Minnesota. I was playing there. Both of you
Oh.
were there.
Oh yeah, was I? Yeah, we were there. I don't. They're all the fucking same. They're all-
Now every
know.
time we hear piano music, just
Yes,
go.
I'm
Just
gonna be
go, 'cause
like,
you're
"It's
gonna know
Alex."
It's always real sad, depressing kind of music. I'm not like
I love it.
I like it.
I like slit your wrist lesbian music. That's usually my favorite. Like
Yeah.
Indigo Girls, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
sure.
like. I don't know. I like that stuff.
It's like
I
Soft
certainly like
depressing.
depressing music almost exclusively.
Yes. Ooh, make me a playlist.
Yeah.
And in
Yeah.
your spare time, yeah. I'll do the
I'll do
same
that.
for you. I'll make you a playlist of all of the stuff.
I
that
wish we
will-
still did. Make me a mix CD.
Oh, I used to
Yes.
love getting mixed CDs. That's
Yeah,
all I
mixed tape.
listened to
Yeah.
as a kid. I never I just downloaded Spotify when we got our podcast because I would listen
Yeah.
to all my mixed CDs
Yeah.
when people would send me. I wouldn't know the artist. I would just know the song.
It takes a lot of energy and a lot of work to make a mix CD.
Mhm.
It's very
A lot of
thoughtful.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and we would put thought into it, or
Yeah.
mixtapes even too. You'd
Yeah.
go back and record over it again until it was right.
Yes.
Transitions.
Oh, I love it. Nostalgia.
I'm saying I miss everything about. I'm so thankful that we grew up when we did.
Yeah.
I think everyone around our age remembers 1999 to be like the most fun year of their
Yeah.
life.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good time to be that age.
God, Y2K. Remember, everybody thought everything was going to fucking just, we were just waiting on bated
Yeah,
breath.
which is why we all started having a whole lot of fun, because things were
Yeah.
feeling, we were afraid of the apocalypse.
You know Jonathan Brandis, right?
Maybe we should all start having a lot of fun right now.
I
As a matter
know.
of fact.
You knew Jonathan Brandis, right?
Yeah,
I'm
so
sure you guys
clever.
auditioned with him. Jonathan went to Fiji for New Year's for the year 2000 because it was
Really?
the first place that it was going to turn midnight, and he wanted to see what was going to happen. So he fucking flew to Fiji, and then nothing happened.
That's smart, because if something did happen, you don't want to hear about it like it's on the way to you. It's
Exactly.
headed here right now.
Right. Alex, we love you.
Yes, thank you
Yes.
so much.
Tell me your
I'll see you
all
soon.
your Instagram handles and stuff.
Yes.
And I'll put them on here.
Yeah, Alex_Vincent, which is the same on Instagram and Patreon, and everywhere, and Twitter, which I'm not really using anymore. But yeah, Alex_Vincent, where you could find everything. AV Productions Online is my recording studio.
Book your studio
Yay,
time
book
now.
it. Book it now, guys.
We
It's
love
in
you.
Clearwater, Florida, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, we love you so much.
Love you,
Thank you
Alex.
so much
You.
for
I'll
being
see you
on.
I'll see you in
soon.
February, and we'll give you big hugs.
Yes.
Okay, can't wait.
Oh, thank you.
All right,
Happy
thank you.
Tuesday.
Bye. Happy Tuesday, everybody.